This topic of sales, this particular lesson, because it made such a huge difference in my life, and I know that once you start implementing this in yours, it's going to make a big difference in yours as well. We've been talking in our sales about how to be clear on exactly what we want, and part of that is because the universe gives us what we ask for, and it may not seem like it, and sometimes things that are going through in our lives just seem all out of whack or aren't going smoothly. And that's part of the reason why you need to be completely clear on what you want for your career in sales, because once you're clear on that, then it allows the energy of the world to just focus in on exactly what you want and helps it manifest quicker if you have everything in place. So with that said, a couple of years ago, a quick story, I was looking for a house to rent, and I ended up finding a house to purchase. And it wasn't my intention ever to buy a house, but I found one that I really liked and ended up purchasing it. And I had this, I know you guys in sales do dream boards or vision boards. I'd had a vision board set up for about 5 years in my office. And we were packing and we were moving, and I grabbed that vision board and I scrunched it up and I was like, this is stupid, doesn't work. And as soon as that vision board paper hit the trash can, I realized it was actually the house. The house on that vision board was the house we just purchased. And so I started doing some internal research on how that worked, and why was what I was going through, how long was it taking from the time of conception or visual to the time of reality. And I came up with a pattern of about 5 years. It was taking 5 years from the time me visualizing what I wanted for it to actually manifest. So then I started doing research on how to make that time frame quicker. How does that happen faster, and how can I make what I really want just manifest faster in my life? So as I'm doing this research, I came upon meditation. Now, I know that's been a big word, ooh, meditation, meditation. And so it seems like the thing to do lately. But I realized back in high school and in college, I used to do a lot of visual meditation in my sports. I was a springboard diver, and I used to visualize me doing every single dive and making it perfect and getting a good score every time I would come into a competition. And that's all meditation was. But me, I thought it was different for some reason. I thought that meditation was different than visualizing, but it's actually the same. You can do guided meditation, or you can do just sitting in silence. So once I realized it was the exact same thing, I thought, why didn't I bring this on further in my life? This is a practice I did daily for my sports in high school and college, but I didn't even think of practicing this in my world of being successful in sales and real estate. So when I realized that it was a 5-year from visualization to manifestation, I started experimenting on how I could get that to go faster. And what I found was if you meditate on it, it comes faster. If you meditate consistently on it, it even becomes faster. But the biggest thing is if you're completely clear on what it is you want, clear details and time frame, and you meditate on that consistently, it will happen even faster. I got to where I could manifest something in 3 months or 3 years, and then just recently I'm manifesting things in about 6 months. And so it's interesting how I want to say manipulation, but it's not really manipulation. It's interesting how when you become clear on what you want, then you can meditate on it and you can make that happen. So in the world of sales, and how does this work for sales, I guess is my answer, or is my question. It's been a long day. Is my question, in the world of sales, if you're completely clear on what it is you want to accomplish, excuse me, your goals you want to accomplish, your connections you want to accomplish, the type of website you want to have, the type of clientele you want to work with, the type of business that you want to work with, that sort of thing, that's how working with meditation and visualization will help you manifest exactly what it is you're wanting. Because I think it's hard for us sometimes to think of being successful in sales, especially when we're just starting and we don't really know what success seems like. You know, some people have this misinterpretation that people who have a lot of money or who are very wealthy are crooked, or who sue, they're the ones that sue everybody, or they are arrogant, or they're kind of, you know, jerks, or I wanted to say a different word, but our interpretation of what it is to be wealthy sometimes gets in our way of manifesting what it is we really want in our life. And truth be told, you can act however you want to act. You can act like an ass whether you're rich or you're poor. It doesn't really matter. None of that makes a difference because you're you, right? And so I think that's part of trying to visualize me as a success was my hardest thing. Coming from the background I came from, you know, I always grew up with this, God will give you what you can handle. Not God will give you the tools to handle what you get, but opposite, right? So it was a very limited mindset. And it was hard for me to realize what success meant, especially if there were times when all I needed was a gallon of milk. That was success for me. Counting pennies to buy a cup of coffee, that was success for me. You know, and so when you're asking me at that point in time, when I know that I have like nothing to give except for my patience and my love and my knowledge, and you're supposed to manifest and visualize living in a nice house, driving a nice car, having clothes that are, you know, not secondhand clothes, wearing earrings, wearing jewelry, getting Botox. I mean, all these things, sorry, I have a cold. All these things that you're trying to manifest, or in my vision, are successful. How do I vision that when I just need a gallon of milk? You know, I totally get it. I've been there, and it sucks so bad, but it works. This manifestation thing works. And if today is you need a gallon of milk, then you sit in silence and you taste what it tastes like to drink a gallon of milk. You feel it, you touch it, you see it in your refrigerator, you smell it, and you be so thankful for it. And then, you know, it'll happen with a gallon of milk. And then tomorrow, it may be a refrigerator full of food. And then the next day, it may be rent on time. And then the next day, it may be car payment on time. Or you can go big. And that's been my challenge. How do I go big? Like, I have everything I really have ever wanted or need, but I want to go bigger, right? Why am I putting limits on myself? What's the deal with that? So it's been my thing to do in this process of becoming the top producer in real estate and in sales. It's been my thing to really take to heart, what is it that I really want? I have to be clear on that so that I can make sure I ask the universe for exactly what it is, with ease and without issues or without stress. So, and I'm going to think big, you guys. I'm going to think big. I'm tired of thinking small. I'm tired of thinking that I don't deserve it, or I shouldn't have it, or I should feel bad if I do. I'm not doing that no more. I'm not. I'm thinking big, and you should too. This is a big world. Let's think big things. Let's do this. It takes convincing every day. It does, but I can do it. So here's how I do it. So what I do is I take a journal similar to this one that I'm reading out of. You can see it on the top. It has the day, it has the month, and it has the days. So I know exactly if it's been 6 months since I last meditated. I know it's been 6 months, right? And I just take 5 minutes and I do free writing. Sometimes I do free writing on what it is I want, and I will plan it out. This is how much money I want to make. This is when my debt's going to be paid off. This is when I'm going to buy a new car. And I write that out. Other times it's just what I'm grateful for that day, and other times it's what I need right at this moment. And then sometimes it's pretty pathetic. It's how these memories keep coming up that just don't surface or don't do me justice anymore. And whatever it is, there is no judgment. It's 5 minutes of non-judgmental free writing. And at the end of this free writing, I sit in silence for about 20 minutes. Sometimes I'll put a YouTube guided meditation on, depending on what it is I'm trying to focus on, and if I'm having a hard time focusing. Otherwise, I just sit there with my eyes closed for 20 minutes. And I just become a planetary body sitting in my space. That's it. I listen to my heartbeat. I listen to my breathing. I feel the energy going through my body. And I just sit. And that's what you need to do. Sometimes you just need to sit. And sometimes you need to, find the good things in life, because there's always something. There's always that one thing during the day that is a good thing. And I think that thinking big is it. That's what I'm going to do. Thinking big. So in the matter of sales success, it's envisioning yourself as being successful. And what does that look like to you? Because it looks different to everybody else. To me, it may not be the Maserati in the garage. It may be my little 12-foot tin fishing boat. That's it. And I'm okay with that, right? That's success for me. So it's different for everybody else, but there's no reason why we can't have what we want. And if it takes 20 minutes a day to think about it, then it takes 20 minutes a day.